Hello everyone, I'm Tony Husband from Nashville SC. You can probably guess where I am right now because this is the future. This is the new home of Nashville SC in the Wedgwood, Houston area, just south of downtown. It's a momentous day for everyone connected to Nashville SC and Music City because today, in the next few minutes, we're going to bring you live coverage of the first beam being installed into the surface of this venue. And from that moment, this stadium is going to rise, just like the aspirations of everybody connected to soccer in Nashville. That's coming up shortly, but first, a little bonus for you. I'm going to throw it across to Scott Neal, Vice President of Operations for Nashville SC, and he's joined by Maia Turner and Tom Clark of Mortensen Messer.
Thanks, Tony. It's a great day here at the Nashville SC Stadium, and a very monumental one, as we prepare to go from earth movement to steel movement. We're going to take a few minutes and take you on a tour of the job sites to give you an idea of what is coming our way in 2022. Our first stop on the tour is midfield, where in 2022, Nashville Soccer Club will start off a new era in our new stadium. But how do we go from a pile of rocks to a 30,000 seat stadium? Tom?
Well, Scott, we've made tremendous progress thus far since we started construction in July. We finished mass excavation, foundations, and we're just kicking off steel erection and starting to go vertical on site. Over the next couple months, we'll continue to ramp up. The stadium will continue to take shape.
The field is made up of rock aggregate for working surface for our crane and other equipment. But once we clear the pitch from all the equipment, we will install underground drainage system and a 12-inch root zone, and the sod will sit on top of that.
All right, we're going to continue our tour and take you back of house to the home team locker room. Right now, we are standing where the home team locker room will be. This is the spot where our team, the players, will prepare to get ready for each match. They will suit up. You will hear the noise of the crowd as they prepare to enter the pitch. But the question is, how do we get from the rendering that you see to the reality that we're standing on today?
Yeah, so Scott, we work very closely with CAA Icon, Populous, and Hastings Architecture to ensure that this stadium meets the long-term vision of our Nashville community as a whole. We've engaged subcontractor community to ensure we build a strong, diverse workforce, and in the upcoming months, we'll be increasing our booths in the field.
Great, thank you. Now we're going to continue our tour up to the West Concourse and the premium areas in the stadium. Right now, we're standing on the west side of the stadium in our most premium area. We have three separate clubs: the Premier Club, the Honky Tonk, and the Sports Bar. Above that, we will have 27 suites, and above that, additional premium seating, as well as our press area.
Overall, the progress on main concourse, we're complete with deep foundations. We're also complete with concrete grade beams and foundations. We've completed also underground MEP, and we're continuing with slab on grade around the building clockwise.
And for the final stop on the tour, we're going to take you over to our supporters section. Right now, we're standing in front of our supporters section, where over 3,000 of our most excited and passionate fans will be in the safe standing area, cheering on our boys in gold.
Yeah, so the supporters will be standing on cast-in-place concrete, which is our stadium grade. Work started last month on the stadium grade, and it's scheduled to wrap up in the next upcoming months.
Great, thank you. That concludes our tour, and we want to thank you for joining us. We're now going to go back to Tony Husband.
Scott, thank you very much indeed. Excellent little tour and insight into this stadium of the future. We've moved up to what is more or less going to be known as Corner Kick Terrace. We're on the southwest corner of the construction site now, and as you can see, I've got the Nashville SC CEO, Ian Eyre, with me. Ian, thanks for joining us. Another very special day. How significant a day is this?
It's a huge day. You know, so many people have waited so long to get to this stage and really start to believe in this stadium and it coming out of the ground, and you know, to put the first piece of steel in place is a huge part of this thing starting to really be visible, and it's exciting for the team, exciting for everyone in Nashville, and we're hugely proud of where we are.
Having Nashville SC's own house, if you like, why is that so important within Major League Soccer?
Well, I think anyone who supports any sports team knows that, you know, the home stadium of the team is its spiritual home. It's the center of where everything is. It's where you have all those experiences and memories and all those type of things. And we've had a fantastic time being at Nissan Stadium. I'm very grateful to the Titans, but it's important to have our own home, and and this is where it's going to be, and it's going to be incredible when it's finished, and something that everyone can be proud of.
It's such a hive of activity around here. I know there's a lot of people to thank even to get to this stage of the construction.
Yeah, so many people, and maybe too many to mention everybody, but it's people like Metro and the Sports Authority and the Fair Board and the Fairgrounds people, and our partners here, Mortensen and Messer on construction, Populous, Hastings on architecture, so many people, and it's the combination of the effort of all those people and our own staff that will deliver this ultimately, and we can never be more thankful than we are right now.
All right, well, it's time to put some steel in the ground and really start to build this stadium up. I think you're going to give the workmen and the construction crew a little cue.
Let's do it.
Well, Tom Clark from Mortensen Messer has rejoined us and is going to talk us through this next few minutes. Tom, first of all, what exactly are we seeing as we're seeing now the big vertical beam getting up into the air?
Yeah, so Lejeune and LPR Construction have rigged the column, and the crane has hoisted the first piece of steel into the air. The column will travel 260 feet to where it will be received by the iron workers that will set the piece of steel. There's a base plate at the bottom of the column that has holes, and it will be placed over bolts that are already casted into the concrete. Once the column is set, the iron workers will bolt the steel into place.
And just to give people an idea of the geography of where we are in the stadium, that piece of steel is being picked up kind of down at the southern end, almost where the penalty area would be, and it's going to move all the way down south, down to almost behind the goals into the big construction that will be at the back of this end of the ground.
The column will be used for primary support of the main concourse. This is where fans will be circulating during game days. Walter P. Moore is our structural engineer on the project and have worked diligently over the past couple of years to design and engineer the building components of the stadium.
Now, how heavy is that piece of steel? I mean, we can see the might of the crane that's had to lift it. What are we looking at there?
So this steel member approximately weighs 2,800 pounds. The total weight of steel that we will actually be installing on site is over 13 million pounds.
Wow, I mean, when you take a look as well as at the footprint of this site, I mean, it's twice the Grand Ole Opry. It's going to be a 30,000 seat stadium. Remember, the largest soccer-specific stadium in Major League Soccer, 13 times the size of the Ryman Auditorium. I mean, that just gives people an idea of the scale of this project. How many people have you actually got working here on site at the moment?
So Nashville MLS workforce consists of over 300 craft team members on site. Our peak workforce will be upwards of 500 personnel.
So it's a large number. Any unique aspects to this particular delivery of this site?
Yeah, the structural steel is unique in its own way due to the amount of steel that will be exposed to the public. All of our exposed steel will receive a Sherwin-Williams high-performance coating that will be black in color. The high-performance coating provides both an architectural feature and protection from the exterior elements such as rain.
And I wonder if we just bring Ian Eyre in as well here. I mean, Ian, in your time at Liverpool, of course, you oversaw a major reconstruction of the Cathedral of Anfield. I mean, this is different. This is starting from scratch, isn't it? But echoes for you of what a big project that was at one of the great homes of soccer around the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I remember from that time, it's when you start to see the steel structures, when you really start to see the shape and scope and scale of the building. And I think what we have here is, over the coming months through the summer, people will really start to see the real size and scale of the building. And, and having gone through that, as you said, at Anfield when we built the new main stand, I think people were in awe of its size just as it came out the ground. And I think that'll be the same here with the largest soccer-specific stadium in the US. I think it's really going to be eye-catching for people as it grows.
We are barely 2 miles from downtown Nashville. There'll be a wonderful view down into the skyscrapers of the downtown area. This will be an area of the city which is seeing a lot of change at the moment. A thriving Wedgwood, Houston area, and this is going to be a real centerpiece of it in the next couple of years. Next year, when this stadium opens for Major League Soccer. Tom Clark, let's bring you back in here now. I mean, how much steel are we going to see kind of moved across this site over the weeks and months to come?
So overall, we have 7,500 primary steel members on the project and over 12,000 miscellaneous component members, including plates, seats, and angles.
Wow, and 6,000 tons of steel, I think it is as well, as we're seeing it now dropping down towards the surface. This a landmark moment, Tom, isn't it? I mean, from here now, how quickly is this all going to spring up?
So structural steel will be ongoing through the summer of 2021. In May, we'll mobilize another structural crane to support our canopy steel erection. The stadium has a large canopy that spans over the top of the seating bowl and has 360-degree coverage.
Well, these are the historical moments, if you like, a landmark ceremonial moment of steel installation at Nashville Soccer Club's new home. From here, this is where the future begins for this Major League Soccer club. As the beam installation goes, well, we could even coin a phrase, N to the ground. It's a big day for everyone with Nashville SC. Thanks so much for joining our web stream today. I hope you've enjoyed being part of a little piece of history. You're going to want to be the first Endo as well. And to do so, purchase your 2021 season tickets or place a premium deposit. Be a part of this fantastic future. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.